Hey friends, this is Veronica Burnett, your Better Days coach, and I'm here with another great workshop to help families to develop better relationships with themselves, within their family unit, and then that translates outside of the family. Over the last year, I've been working on new initiatives to bring to my clients and prospective clients and families that do just that because what do I do? I promote healthy relationships. So tonight we're going to talk about the series Friendlets in our Navigating Friendships workshop. So why did I do this? I did this because I have a strong feeling and desire to see families thrive. And more importantly, I want to see that the cycle of abuse stops in our generation. And I think that it starts within the family. Even if someone you know has experienced it, it doesn't mean that it has to continue. And I feel like if we teach children how to have healthy friendships, how to express themselves, how to put words to the emotions that they're feeling, and then more importantly, how to manage those and talk to someone, I think we'll have a better success rate on stopping and ending domestic abuse and intimate partner violence and things like that. So I started this workshop under the One Love Foundation, and I became a friendless facility workshop facilitator. And and I wanted to bring it to you. So let me just introduce it to you. This is one of the first times that I am facilitating this workshop, so I ask that you will be patient with me. This is an abridged one, so if you're current, and like if you are present, then you'll be able to watch the videos that go along with this, and it will add more of an impact to what we're talking about here. So it won't just be my words and a video, it will be the videos along with interaction, dialogue, different activities that we'll do, and things that you can take to your children and work through with them to see what they know and what they need work with, and then help them to become better humans because that's what we're raising, healthy humans. All right. So tonight, the conversation centered around unpacking why signs matter. So we're going to just go over the signs of healthy relationships and then unhealthy relationships. And then I'll end it there. I don't want to go, belabor the time, but I want to just give you that foundation so that you all can talk about it. You are going to see me looking at to the side at my notes because I want to make sure that I give you the right information and not try to just go off the top of my head because I may forget something. But I have my notes here because in my head I'm a teacher, and I want to give it to you straight. Okay. All right. So let's just keep going. So, what we would do if you were here with me, I would do a brief introduction, which I just did of myself. I am a Better Days coach. I am the life coach, certified life coach, and friendless facilitator. I'm a mom to a sixth grader. Can't believe she's in middle school. And I did find, and I've been watching her friendships develop over the years and realized that there were a lot of times where I really did interject and teach her different things about her friendships and helped her to recognize where she was displaying unhealthy behaviors and how she could change that. We can't change other people, but we can definitely change how we relate to others and take on more healthy behaviors. And so, I feel like I'm the classroom mom still for her classroom from her fifth grade. And the children come to me for advice and guidance, and they trust me. And I think that's what children need today. They need a trusted person, a trusted adult that they can go to and work through these things. So that is what I do. And I am an author. I have an academy, the Life Transformation Academy, and I love what I do, absolutely love what I do, just helping families be better. And so that we're going to go over the 10 signs of unhealthy and healthy relationships. If we were together, we would go over the science fairness video, which is about 45 seconds. Then we would talk about it and we would plan how to build healthier relationships afterwards. And then there is a survey. So after the workshop every day, we would do a short survey just to give me feedback on the video, the content, and my facilitation of it. All right. So let's see what's next. All right. So this is the video that we would talk about the science fairness. And again, you'll see it's 45 minutes. There are 5 videos that we would go through and talk about, and they display healthy and unhealthy relationships, behaviors throughout the videos, and we talk about those. All of the characters are the same, and in each video, you'll see them act out in different ways, and you'll see them with different characters. And then we would see how they would speak up for themselves and advocate for themselves. And so these are things that teach children um, firsthand and demonstrate to them firsthand how to handle difficult friendships. So One Love is a national leader in educating young people about relationship health. They equip young people to identify and avoid abuse and love better in all their relationships. And so even though they talk about relationships in this in the videos and in their language, this translates to friendships because we are in relationship with everyone we meet. And it's not necessarily a love relationship, but some kind of interaction, some kind of relationship. So they use the word interchangeably. And I just want you to know about them. They started this organization after a young lady, Yardley. Oh gosh, I forgot Yardley's last name. Yardley Love. She was killed by her boyfriend when she tried to end the relationship, and her parents started a foundation afterwards. That one thing that they wish that they knew were the signs of unhealthy relationships, because then they feel like they would have been able to intervene and help her get out of the situation in a healthier way. And maybe she would still be here. But that is why Yardley, that is why the One Love Foundation was started. That is why the foundation was started because of Yardley Love. And so I feel like they feel if we start now identifying the signs, then we can help our children have better friendships and relationships. All right, the big idea. This is what they say. 100% of us are in relationships. I just said that. 100% of us can improve our relationship health, and 100% of us deserve healthy relationships. I say that all the time. You deserve a healthy relationship. I don't care what kind of relationship you are in, I don't care how long you've been in it. If it is not healthy, I need you to know you deserve a healthy relationship. And that's with your friends, your loved ones, your family members. They all should be healthy, and you deserve that, right? And that goes for adults too. All right, here's one thing I want you to do, and you can take this and talk with your children and family members about it. Think about something you did recently to show someone you care about them. Think about something you did recently to show someone you care about them. I think that goes back to the love languages. If you know your family members or your friends' love language, then you can feed into that. Um, so my daughter likes to do things with her friends, but because we live so far away from them, we haven't been able to do it. So she decided to plan a play date. And me, I had to pay for it, of course. But it was something that she loved. And by me saying yes, it showed that I cared about her and her happiness. And she was really happy that day. She told me it was one of the best days that she'd had in a long time. So, what's one thing that you did to show someone that you care about them? You can stop the video at any time and talk with your kids and your family about it. All right, so I am going to pause right here because I don't want to go too far into the video, into these, because um, I- it's more impactful when we're together. So let me just go over the healthy signs and unhealthy signs, okay? So some of the unhealthy signs, I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now, and it'll just be me and you. How about that? And my kitchen. So some of the signs, there are 10 of each, healthy signs of a healthy relationship. They go at a comfortable pace. Okay. The relationship moves at a speed that feels enjoyable for each person. So not every friendship has to go fast. You don't go from meeting someone today to being best friends tomorrow. And you don't go from being, meeting someone today to being their confidant and they give you and talk to you about every single thing. That doesn't always happen. It has to go at its own pace. That's in love relationships and that is in friendships, platonic friendships. And I'll only share just this tidbit. Um, I met someone and we moved pretty quickly. And inside, I felt like it was too fast, but I didn't say anything. I let it happen, even though I was uncomfortable with it. So, healthy relationships, they move at a comfortable pace for both people. That is something that can be talked about in the very beginning. Another one is honesty. I believe if you received one of the emails from me, then I did talk about honesty there. So, honesty, you can be truthful and candid without fearing how the other person may respond. You can be truthful and candid without fearing how the other person responds. And here I'll stop for a moment. I tell my daughter all the time, and this is something that I learned when I was in therapy years ago. When you go to someone and you let them know how you feel about a certain situation or a certain conversation that was had or some words that was said that hurt you, you go to them and you give them your truth, your honesty. And it is not with the intention of them validating how you feel or what you have to say. It is you being honest. It is you going to a person and saying, hey, you didn't say this quite right, or, you could have been a little nicer to the waitress, or, whatever it is. But being honest with the person and you're not afraid of how they're going to react or turn things on you, you are confident in the fact that they're going to receive it in a way that is still loving and caring, and know that your honesty is not to hurt them. And so you're not fearful of that because you know that in a healthy friendship, you can share honestly and the friendship will still be intact and nothing about it will change. Respect. Respect. You value one another's beliefs and opinions and love one another for who you are as a person. Let me read that again. You value one another's beliefs and opinions and love one another for who you are as a person. Valuing beliefs and opinions. They are like noses. Opinions are like noses. Everybody has one. And guess what? They're all different. I don't know anybody's nose that looks like somebody else's. My daughter's nose does not look like mine. Hers is a combination of hers, of mine and her father's. It does not look like it doesn't look the same. They look totally, totally different. And why did my screen change? How about that, right? Um, I can't believe my screen just changed. I have my notes right here in my face, and I don't know what I did. Here we go. But yeah, respect. You respect each other's opinions. If I say no to something, you say yes to something, guess what? It's no and yes. And it's okay. The friendship does not have to fall apart because you both have different opinions, and they can both be right. They can both be right. It doesn't have to be either or, it can be both and. Both and. Kindness. You are a caring and empathetic to one another and provide comfort and support. You are caring and empathetic to one another and provide comfort and support. Empathy is shown in the home. Empathy is shown from parent to child, from between siblings. And when that is shown in the family, then it's easier for the child to show that type of empathy to their friends. Um, when friends are going through different situations at home, when like my daughter, she is she's one of the only of kids in her friend circle who is not in constant contact with her father. Her friends back in the day, they were very empathetic towards her. They were very caring and gentle with her feelings about it. That's kindness. That's empathy. And that is something that shows children that they are cared about. So, kindness. What can you do to show kindness to someone? That was probably one of the questions, right? The very first question. All right. Then there's healthy conflict. I think that one is one of the most important. Healthy conflict. Oh my goodness. So if you are arguing with someone and your children hear the argument, I always say stay on topic. I know you've heard it too. Stay on topic. Don't reach back to last week of what happened. Don't reach back to 3 years ago or 10 years ago. What are we arguing about today? So, healthy conflict, openly and respectfully discussing issues and confronting disagreement non-judgmentally. Openly and respectfully, so no name calling, no degrading, and discussing issues and confronting disagreements non-judgmentally. So again, we all have different opinions. My opinion may be no, yours may be yes. Let's talk about it. And we're not going to judge each other for how we feel or how we see things. We will hear openly and respectfully. And if we can't agree, then we just agree that we don't agree. And guess what? We can move on. Because sometimes the disagreements aren't the deal breakers in the friendships. They're just something that you don't agree with. Trust, confidence that your partner won't do anything to hurt you or ruin the relationship. Confidence that your partner won't do anything to hurt you or ruin the friendship. So, trust, in my opinion, is built over time. Um, in some friendships, trust is given all up front and then they chip away. But trust is your confidence that's built up over time. It's built up because of the track record. It's built up because, okay, I can talk openly and honestly with you. I can be You're kind to me, you're empathetic towards me. We don't argue and hurt each other's feelings. So I trust you. I trust that I can come to you and talk to you about anything and our friendship won't be ruined. Um, I think that's really important in friendship. I trust that you won't talk about me behind my back, and I trust that you will be that we'll have a reciprocal friendship. So trust. The next one is independence, which I want to talk deeply about when we come together next time. But independence, you have space to be yourself outside of the relationship. I think adults and children can definitely benefit from learning and relearning independence. You have space to be yourself outside of the relationship. Um, I think that speaks for itself. You can be who you are, and you don't have to change who you are for anybody else, not to fit in, not to be accepted, not for people to give you accolades and validate you, but just because you are yourself. You can be yourself in your friendship, and you're not judged for being yourself. I am quirky. I love reading. I'm kind of nerdy, and I'm fine that way. I feel free in my friendships and I'm independent in my friendships because I can do and be who I am without judgment from my friends. They love me and accept me. Next is taking responsibility. Woo woo. Owning our own actions and words. Owning our own actions and words. So anytime, I'll give you this really quick example. So a friend of mine and I just recently, um, I did not go to her birthday party. She wanted me there. I did not realize how important it was for me to be at this birthday party. And I did not call to say I wasn't coming. And so I realized that our communication had started dropping off and she was kind of short with her responses to me. And so I said, hey, I realized, I noticed that um, our conversations are falling off and you're kind of short. What's going on? And so she told me everything about how she felt about me not coming to the party. Number one, she trusted me. Number two, she was honest. And she used caring words. She was kind in the way she told me how she felt about it. And so when she did tell me all of this, the first thing I said was, I'm sorry. I take full responsibility. I should have called you and told you that I was not coming. I should have called you and said, I cannot be at your party for these reasons. And I said, hey, can you please forgive me for hurting your feelings and not showing up when you really needed me to? That is taking responsibility. I did not say I didn't want to be there because of you or all the other whatever issues that could have been out there. I took ownership and responsibility for my part in hurting my friend. And we're cool today, but we were able to have a conversation, talk about it, and know that our honesty wasn't going to ruin that friendship. I could have very well ruined that friendship by not showing up and not digging in and saying, hey, what's going on? But I do believe that because she values our friendship and I value our friendship, me going to her, talking to her, and her having the platform to say whatever she wanted to say, um, yes, it was okay. And our friendship wasn't ruined because of it. So yeah, and then the last is fun. You enjoy spending time together and bring out the best in each other. I love that. So fun. Make sure you have fun in your friendships. Have fun. All right. I'm going to pause the video right here and I'll come back and give you the rest of them. Okay. All right. All right. So now I'm back. We're going to just quickly get through the unhealthy signs of um, relationships. I don't know why I got lost in those words. Unhealthy signs. So, some of the unhealthy signs, or I'll just tell you all of them. Intensity. How about that? When someone expresses very extreme feelings and over the top behavior that feels overwhelming. I'll read it again. When someone expresses very extreme feelings and over the top behavior that feels overwhelming. So, for example, a blow up over something small. You can see that, happening every once in a while, maybe. But when it's over something, all over everything, every small infraction, there's a big blow up. That keeps you on edge, right? And it can be overwhelming. So watch out for the intensity of someone else's emotions or even your own. Because I'm giving you these signs of healthy and unhealthy. And I want you to understand that we all carry some of these. We all do because we're human and we're not perfect, but we are working on it, right? We're working to be better. So intensity. So if you know that, you yourself have intense blow ups, let's, step back and see what's causing and fueling those extreme emotions, those overwhelming emotions. Because I am almost positive if they're overwhelming for someone else, they can be overwhelming for you too. Not a bad thing, just something that we can work on. And you can talk with your good, trusted adult to help you through it. Intensity. The next one is manipulation. Manipulation. When someone tries to control your decisions, actions, and emotions. When someone tries to control your decisions, actions, or emotions. When someone is telling you, oh, you don't feel like that, you feel like this. Or you really shouldn't do X, Y, and Z. When you know in your heart that you want to do whatever X, Y, and Z is, right? And they're telling you that you don't want to do it or you can't do it, or suggesting that you do something that in your gut you really don't want to do. But I'll use one of the other words that we're going to talk, guilt. That's one of the next one, guilt, to make you do something. They exercise their power over you. And sometimes people can use their power physically to manipulate you to do something. Sometimes someone can use aggression, or they can use their physical body to make you feel intimidated. All of those are used to manipulate you or other people, or you to make someone else do something that they don't necessarily want to do. So they are trying to control your decisions, your emotions, and your actions. Okay? Sabotage. When someone purposely ruins your reputation, achievement, or success. When someone purposely ruins your reputation, achievement, or success, that is sabotage. Accidents happen. Sometimes we talk a little too much and we say something and it accidentally gets out, or it might taint your reputation. And if you know that it is not done in ill will or intentionally to hurt, you can find it in your heart to forgive, I believe. However, intentionally, purposely doing it, that's a red flag. That is an unhealthy behavior, because friends don't do that to each other. Friends don't hurt each other. Friends don't ruin reputations. Friends don't tell your business to other people. That's an unhealthy behavior. Sabotage. The next is guilting. When someone makes you feel responsible for their actions and make you feel like it's your job to keep them happy. I'll read it again. When someone makes you feel responsible for their actions or makes you feel like it's your job to keep them happy, who are we responsible for? Ourselves. We are the only people we are responsible for. Our actions, we are responsible for our actions and what we do, how we do it. We cannot say that someone else's actions made us do whatever. We can't, because they can't. And we can't say, or we can't allow someone else to say because of our actions, it's the reason why they did what they did, whether it's to hurt you, to sabotage you, to manipulate you. Um, we can't allow that. And so guilting is one of the ways that people usurp their authority and their power over you by making a person feel guilty for their actions, for the other person's actions, and making it so that, you're responsible for how they are managing life and whether they're happy or not. Like, your presence isn't the only thing that should make a person happy. We don't have that kind of control over anybody's emotions at all. We don't have that kind of control, and no one should have that kind of control over you. Deflecting responsibility. So remember, we said taking responsibility was a or is a healthy behavior. Deflecting responsibility is an unhealthy behavior. When someone repeatedly makes excuses for their unhealthy behavior, it goes right back to guilty and manipulation. When someone repeatedly makes excuses for their unhealthy behaviors, okay? The situation with my friend, like I said, I could have said to her, "Oh, I don't like your friends are going to be there. So I'm not going to come to your party, and it's your fault that I'm not coming to your party because you keep inviting these same people. No, the responsibility was for me to call and say, I'm not coming. I could have easily said, well, you didn't call to see why I wasn't there. You didn't text me to see why I wasn't there. That's deflecting my responsibility onto her. The healthy side is, let me text my friend and say, I'm not coming. I can't make it, right? That's the healthy side and the unhealthy or deflecting responsibility, okay? When someone repeatedly makes excuses for their unhealthy behaviors. Possessiveness. I almost mispronounced that word. Possessiveness. When someone is jealous to the point where they try to control who you spend time with and what you do. Now, I will say I have seen this in platonic friendships and romantic relationships. And if you see this in the very beginning, pay attention. It is a major red flag. Possessiveness leads to the next thing I was going to say, isolation. But possessiveness, you had friends before you met this friend, and they had friends before they met you. It is unfair to expect you or them to only spend time with you and be jealous if they decide to spend time with their friends. It is something that we must work through always and see that because my friend is spending time with someone else, it doesn't mean that we're not friends. Doesn't mean that she doesn't care for me. Doesn't mean that she doesn't love me. Like this same friend that I'm using as an example, she travels with other people. She does all the things with other people, but she knows her friend Veronica. I don't like going a whole lot of places with a lot of people. I don't. And I don't like to be around loud people. It makes me uncomfortable. So I'm all right if she goes and does all those things with her friends because that brings her joy. And when she and I connect and have fun together, it's our fun together. And it doesn't take away from the friendship. It adds because then she's got stories to tell me. I've got stories to tell her, and we can swap information. And I can say, hey, I might want to try that one day, or vice versa. But possessiveness, we cannot possess another human being, and another human being cannot possess you. You are your own unique individual self, and only you have control over you. Okay? Isolation, when someone keeps you away from friends, family, and other people. So, possessiveness, when it's allowed to take place, then they pull you away from your family and friends. They keep you away from them to keep you to themselves. That goes right back into being responsible for their happiness, you know? So, when you find that you want to spend time with your friends and they find ways to get you away from your other family and friends, move you away from them, isolate you, pay attention. Watch how much time you spend with your other friends versus them and the reaction to you wanting to do something separate and apart from them. It should be reciprocal, it should be accepted, it should be respected. All right. So isolation. And then the next one is belittling. Belittling. When someone does and says things to make you feel bad about yourself, like name calling, like bringing up whatever failure, I can't say failure, whatever, not failure, a situation where you weren't your greatest self, okay? Or maybe you didn't do so well on a test and your friend keeps bringing it up. Or maybe you decided, you know what? This sport is just too hard for me. I'm going to respectfully bow out. I can't do this. And your friend brings it up over and over and over again, Or maybe a breakup with someone and your friend keeps bringing it up and making you feel bad for the choice to either leave or that person leave or whatever, belittling, making you feel bad about yourself for whatever. talking about your nose. You can't change your nose or your hair or the fact that you are 4'11" and they're 5'5". How can you change your height, right? Or maybe you're slim and they're thicker, or vice versa, and they make you feel bad for however you look, or however you're shaped, or whatever you have, or whatever clothes you have, whatever name brands you may or may not have. But if they make you feel bad about who you are as a person, that's belittling and that is not healthy. And that is not something that we should do to other people. Volatility, this one is important. When someone has a really strong, unpredictable reaction that makes you feel scared, confused, or intimidated, that goes right back to manipulation, remember? But when they make you feel afraid for your health or your life, and you're confused about it, or you feel very, very, very intimidated by it, that's volatility. If no other time, you absolutely need to talk to another adult, another person to help you get out of that situation, because it doesn't end well. Volatility. When someone has a really strong, unpredictable reaction. Remember, we talked about those outbursts that are overwhelming? Well, that's the outburst on steroids, okay? We don't want to get there. All right. And then betrayal. When someone is disloyal or acts in an intentionally dishonest way. I'll read it again. When someone is disloyal or acts in an intentionally dishonest way. That felt like a tongue twister trying to read it. um, but disloyal. Now, I've heard people talk about being loyal to a fault, but we don't want to be disloyal, right? And act out in a way that's dishonoring and intentionally hurt someone. That's betrayal. Betrayal is telling your friend's secret. Betrayal is telling something that's confidential or very private for that person, or very emotionally charged for that person. Maybe it could be embarrassing for that person, but someone speaks it out and shares it with everybody. That's betrayal of trust. That's betrayal of confidence. That is not a friendship behavior. And so that is the last one that we're going to talk about, betrayal. I want you to take time to go back over this video with your children, even with yourself or whoever is watching. Go back over this list and see which behaviors you yourself have exemplified in your friendships or your relationships with your family, your loved ones, whomever, and see which ones you want to dial back on and which ones you want to enhance. I'm hoping that you will want to enhance the healthy ones and dial back as much as possible on the unhealthy ones. And I guarantee you, I'm almost 100% sure that when you start exemplifying the healthier behaviors in friendships, you will begin to attract healthier friends, healthier relationships. At one point this week, we're going to talk about how to end a friendship. And sometimes it's not for something bad. Sometimes we just don't align, but a healthy way to end a friendship. And you'll see that sometimes you have to, you know. Um, I think that's all I really wanted to share with you. This is our first night. I just really wanted to lay the groundwork for you of what we will talk about. The videos, again, will go more in detail with exemplifying and showing you the healthy and unhealthy behaviors in real time. And then we'll talk about it and we'll go through some exercises. So if you have your student with you when you are watching or when you log in next time, that would be a great time to discuss it. Make sure you have paper and pen because we're going to do some really fun exercises together. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the very first conversation workshop on friendlets, navigating friendships. And I'm so glad that you were able to watch. Let me know if this helped you and what more you want me to talk about. And next time we get together, we'll talk about all of these. And yeah, I can't wait to see you the next time. Okay. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.